Man United 1, Sheffield United 2. Really bad defeat tonight, crushing defeat. Our first defeat in the Premier League for a while, I think since Arsenal, and ironically we play Arsenal next, but some controversial refereeing decisions, yes, but I don't want to start on that. I want to start on ourselves and looking at our own performance. What do you think went wrong today?
I mean, what went right, realistically? We literally said last week on when we were doing this exact conversation, the last match, we said, obviously it's nice to be positive, saying 21-21, we're on this unbeaten run, but the way we've been winning games was not sustainable. And you've literally seen this tonight. Sheffield United couldn't get a bench together, for God's sake. Phil Jagielka, he's probably having pints with my dad at the pub. He's that old, and he looks like he is as well. And he's getting man of the match in this game. Our forwards today, horrific. I mean, Ollie's game management, horrific. I don't understand how he doesn't see that game earlier to change it. I can't understand how you sat there and you don't understand how to change the game earlier. I mean, you see Chris Wilder on the sideline going absolutely mental. He's winning. Ollie's not even going mad on the sideline, telling players to run into space. We're so static, and the way we play is so predictable that we just can't break teams down. And anyone who says, "Oh, Bruno was crap today, Bruno was shit today," have you seen his work rate covering? He's covering for Martial for his starters because Martial's work rate is next to nothing, and he's covering for Matic sat with the centre backs. We've got no midfield. It's a joke.
How much of it is a bad performance? Like, context is everything, and there's no context to that. We've lost against Sheffield United, fact. But in terms of context, I mean, look, a lot of people will be, this is why we aren't that good. This is why Ollie's this. Negativity starts to fester. How much of that performance do you think was, we were due a bad result, you can't keep winning all the time? I believe in them that they can put it right. And how much of it do you think was, it's just been coming.
It's definitely been coming. There's no doubt about that. The way we've won against Brighton at the start of the season, it was a long time ago now. The way we won against Burnley, the way we won against Fulham, the way we won against West Ham, Southampton, these wins are not sustainable. It's good coming back from losing positions, but it's just not sustainable. I mean, I hate to compare, but at the end of the day, we are in a title race with Man City, and the way they play compared to the way we play, I mean, we don't really deserve to be at the top, do we? Does
this show maybe why we might not be in a title race with Man City? I know, mathematically, obviously, we are and we're there,
yeah,
100%. But I'm saying, does this type of performance today and result prove to outsiders or critics? Does it prove them right? Or is it too early to say?
It's too early to say, because anyone can have a bad result. But the way we played today, it just showed signs of what we used to be like in a way. Not managing the game properly, subs way too late, no game management, favouritism again. I mean, our forwards weren't great, let's be honest. They were poor, very poor. But Greenwood was probably the brightest out of them all, and he comes off just because he's 19. How Martial stayed on that pitch for 90 minutes. It's the worst I've ever seen him play in a United shirt. It actually is. And I said last week, the only thing that maybe has over Cavani is his hold-up play. His hold-up play today was horrendous. And how Ollie doesn't make that change, half-time, 50th minute, 60th minute, how he can't see that, I don't understand. I mean, the way we were playing against a team that's won one game against Newcastle, who are awful, won one game against Newcastle, can't even make a bench. We've got Matic sitting with the centre-backs. Don't even get me started on the defence. It's got no organisation. No organisation. The way we're defending that goal, that second goal.
The second goal was really bad.
Tapping it away like that. No one's got any conviction to go and win it apart from Bruno. That's literally it. And then when we go forward, it's obvious. We've got no one in midfield, so Bruno's getting pressed out of the game straight away. And we've got everyone clustering on the left-hand side. It's obvious that he's told the fullbacks to get up, because Wan-Bissaka was getting up a lot further today. But everyone's on the left. It gets passed out to Wan-Bissaka, and there's nothing really on. We've got nothing in the middle. I mean, Pogba's playing too far back as well. I literally took a picture of the game because it was... if anyone that says that Matic and Pogba in that midfield today was the way we should have played, it wasn't. We should have gone with Fred, even Van der Beek for a team like Sheffield United today. We needed pace in the midfield to pass around him. They can sit there all day, and Pogba and Matic are literally sat back. I'm not blaming Pogba because he had a decent game today. He wasn't awful, but he wasn't great. But everyone wasn't great.
No one was, yeah, exactly. No
The way the midfield was set up and the way it wasn't changed, like Van der Beek coming on in the 82nd minute. What's he meant to do in 8 minutes? Even when he came on, he looked brighter than most of the forwards.
You said, the team that we struggled to beat, Sheffield United today, fighting for their lives. You know, they've got that win against Newcastle. But does that just show you, like, well, one, it does show you how there's no easy games in the league. You look at, we played, relegation struggling Fulham, nearly conceded at the end, tight game. When we played Sheffield United last time, 3-2. If you actually look at the evidence, we haven't been blown away, these teams. So on one side of it, is that what the actual issue is? The fact that we're underestimating these type of teams and not putting in the correct performances to even walk away from it saying we should have won 3-0 or 2-0, or, because we haven't been doing it.
We're not underestimating him, I don't think. I genuinely think it's in-game management. It's in-game management. You start in that game and then you realise there's no space in behind for Rashford to do what he usually does. Martial, everything he touches is going wrong. And then obviously at the back, Maguire and Tuanzebe look shaky as anything. In-game management, Matic and Pogba weren't working. You've got to make that change straight away. You've got to switch Martial out for Cavani straight away. You've got to switch Matic out for Fred, Van der Beek, even McTominay. You've got to even possibly look at switching Tellez earlier at left back, because we missed Luke Shaw massively driving through the midfield. We had no one driving through that midfield. We had no urgency. And I want to know what we work on in training in terms of running into space, one-touch football, because it's so static. And that's one of the reasons we're not creating chances. Against the team, they will happily sit and press you out of the game. And when you're static like that, you've lost Bruno because he's chasing everything. So he's out of the game. And then no one else is running into space and they just come on the counter-attack and come at us. And you might say, oh, you're over-exaggerating. It's one loss. But it's been coming... Realistically, you want to be positive, but it has been coming for a while. I mean, in the Champions League, we've seen us bottle it and go out against... let's be honest, it was Istanbul that sent us out because we bottled it against them. Stupid in-game decisions, not covering not covering anyone at the back. And then last week, when we played Liverpool, when they conceded their second goal, we're messing around with it at the back when we're 2-1 up. Today, you see us tapping it away. Like
naive defending, isn't it? It's really naive.
Exactly. It's naive and it's silly decisions. I even think today we actually could have rescued that game if we would have made these.
You get back to 1-1, having not played very well. Maguire finally gets his head on something that's brilliant. That's what we've been asking for. Then you're thinking, right, let's go and scrape this now. It won't be a great victory, but can we go again? But that, like you said, that defending there to get into that position to concede that second goal was just appalling, really. Do
you know what? It wasn't even one person specifically. It was everyone. Teller should have closed it down. I don't know what Matic and Maguire are doing. Tuanzebe's positioning was off. Martial gives it away cheaply, and he doesn't even work hard to get back for it. And then even for the first goal with De Gea, everyone says it should have been a foul. It probably should have been. But even then, the defending was pretty poor on that.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty poor on that. But then people blaming the referee. You can't blame the referee. We created nothing. Sheffield United were the better team. They should win that game. And to lose in that manner, it's not even as if we were creating chance after chance and it just wasn't going our way. We've got a serious problem with breaking teams down that are going to sit defensively. Of course, Ollie knew Sheffield were going to sit back today. They've won one game. And they're basically 95% going to get relegated. But it starts off, you're not getting them balls into Rashford that you thought you were going to get. You're not getting Martial's hold-up play, driving through the midfield. The fullbacks aren't working because Tellez obviously isn't in form. He's not been playing games. Wan-Bissaka, I think he completed 0 crosses today. Like, we know his limitations going forward. And you don't change it. You don't start going through the middle. You don't start bringing the likes of Donny van der Beek in, who's meant to be the future, who can make space and create that quick, intense football. You don't bring Fred on, who can bring that energy. So you don't have both Pogba and Matic sitting back against a team that has little goal threat. And they managed to score 2 against us because the way we played was so negative. And obviously we've got to move on to the next one. I hope we can beat Arsenal. But when you keep seeing the same things happening, you just know that it's not sustainable. We were getting by on dodgy wins, and it needs to be changed quickly. The organisation at the back, Maguire's captain, and he needs to do better with that back line. Have organisation in game. It's off the Sheffield United literally have better organisation at the back, and the bottom of the Premier League. It seriously needs looking at, because it's not even as if we've been keeping loads of clean sheets this season. We've conceded a lot of goals, and I'm happy Maguire's got his header. That's probably the only positive out of the game, but that defensive back line cannot keep making silly mistakes like that. It really is unsustainable if you're looking to be in a title race, which we should be in the position that we're in.
It's going to be tough. We go to the Emirates on Saturday. Tough game. And you got to hope that we get a positive result, because before long we start falling behind City by a big margin. And
exactly, it's one loss, and you know what? We can beat Arsenal. We can try and keep going on this run. There's a lot of positivity. We're in a good position in the table, realistically. But obviously, we're expecting to be in this title race now. Our expectations are high, and obviously it's bottom of the league, Sheffield United, so everyone's going to be disappointed. But it's just the signs you see from this game. It really does make you think. It kind of brings you back down to earth in a way, really. It does, and we've still got serious improvements to be made. And I think I've praised Ollie so much for the way he's improved players, but his in-game management seriously needs looking at. I mean, making one sub at the 64th minute, playing in that manner, and then making the other ones with 8 minutes to go. Nah, I'm sorry. It's for a Manchester United manager, that's ridiculous.
Hopefully we can bounce back against Arsenal Saturday. Tough game. We go again.
We go again.
Take care. See you then.